Hello everybody and welcome back to A Royal Reader. My name is Cici and today we have a weekly reading vlog. So today is Tuesday the 10th of January and today is my partner and our 15-month anniversary, something along those lines. We just go and like have dinner or go to a movie or something or other, so nothing too fancy. But today I am going to be filming a whole bunch of videos for BookTube, which is why I'm filming on my phone for this clip because my camera is currently charging. Start with the updates that we have. So haven't read much from when I last spoke to you guys, which was literally like 5 seconds ago with the end of the other clip for the end of the vlog. But while I am waiting for the video to charge, I am going to still be reading The Justice of Kings and Daughter of No Worlds. So quick recap on these ones if you guys do not know about them. So Daughter of No Worlds is a adult fantasy romance by Carissa Broadbent. We have our main character Tisana. She has just escaped from being a slave and is desperate to get into the Order, which is a sort of magical order with like magicians in a way, like elemental magic and stuff like that. She is desperate to get into this order so that she can ask for help to go and get her friend back from where she had escaped from and sort of also like help save her people essentially. And she has entered in at a time where everybody already has their apprentices for the Order, so they chuck her with Max Antarius, who is our other main character. He is very, very reluctant to help her, and he does not want anything to do with the Order anymore, and it's just a sort of like enemies to friends, and then obviously to lovers at some point. But nonetheless, I am really enjoying this. This is very like reminiscent of Sarah J Maas in a way, but I'm still really, really enjoying it. I love the characters. In this, there's a lot of portrayal of anxiety and depression, which I am really, really enjoying and really liking the portrayal. And there's also the fact that Tisana does not speak the language of where the Order is, and it is very interesting seeing her, like the way that the author has portrayed the ways Tisana is speaking and the way that Max is speaking. Like you can tell that Tisana doesn't know the language because like some of the sentences she says to Max are not like grammatically correct. But I am really enjoying that because it gives it a little bit of something extra in my opinion. So that is Daughter of No Worlds. Next one we have is The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. This is a adult high fantasy where we've got our main character who is the Justice, Sir Conrad Villard. He is the Emperor's Justice, who's kind of like a lawyer and a detective and an executioner all wrapped up in one. And we also have our other main character who is Helena, who is Sir Conrad's scribe sort of person. And basically they just go around the kingdom making sure that everybody is obeying like the law and, you know, upholding the kingdom's, what is it, like religious aspects and things. Very similar to how like Christianity and paganism, how everybody had to make sure that they were being Christians, not pagans and things like that. After a certain amount of time, it seems that the religious order is starting to rise up against the crown, and so we're just sort of figuring out how we're going to deal with that in a sense. I am really enjoying it so far. I've read up to 160 pages in and really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the characters and the humor that's in this, and the characters' relationships are also really interesting. So that is where I am at the moment with my reading. It is a very hot day. I do apologize if the fan is annoying in the background. I cannot live without it because it is too hot. But yeah, later tonight, me and my partner have plans to go and see the new Avatar movie. So we're going to go and do that at I think 4 o'clock. So it is currently 1 o'clock. So hopefully I can get the rest of these videos filmed. I've only filmed one. and I need to film, I think, at least 3 more, because I do have a plan. I want to try and make sure that I'm uploading almost every single day. So I filmed one of those. I need to film 1, 2, 3 more videos for today, and then I'll be able to take tomorrow off to film a 24-hour reading vlog that I have in mind. So yeah, that is the plan for the week and for the day, and I will talk to you guys when I have another update. Right now I'm just going to lay on the floor of the living room, of the library, surrounded by the books that I have to use for filming. So hello everyone, it has been quite a while since I have spoken to you. So the last time I spoke to you I think was like Tuesday or Wednesday. I got sick. So firstly I got really dehydrated. I'm pretty sure I gave myself like heat stroke in my own house. So that was great. Actually sick, like I got the flu over the weekend. So that was great, hence why we haven't had any updating clips. But I do have like actual physical updates to give you. So I did manage to in fact finish the 2 books that I was reading. So I was reading The Justice of the Kings by Richard Swan, and then also Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. Finished both of those. I had a really fun time with both of them. For The Justice of the Kings, I am giving this a 2.75 out of 5 stars. It was very long-winded and a little bit confusing, and the overall plot of this is just focusing on one sort of murder mystery case. I don't know if I am intrigued enough to continue on with the series. If it is just a duology, I will pick up the second book, because I am interested in sort of like the story, I guess, because it's not told through like the main character's perspective. It's told as a recount from the main character's scribe, and so they finish it off with like, I'm an old lady now, I need to rest, and we'll continue the story another time. So I'm interested to see where it's going to go, because I think the next book is going to be more like political based, because this one was rather religious heavy, which was interesting, and the person has definitely drawn inspiration from like the Roman Catholics and paganism and things like that. So it was interesting seeing all of that wrapped up into fantasy. I wouldn't say that this is a high fantasy. The only fantasy elements that we have is the fact that the guy, Sir Conrad, has like a little bit of magic. That's basically it. Everything else, I would say that it is definitely just a medieval political fantasy. I don't know. Fantasy elements aren't really there all that much. I'm hoping that the next one will have more fantasy based elements. But yeah, so
2.75 out of 5 stars. And then I finished Daughter of No World by Carissa Broadbent. So this one I gave a 3.75 out of 5 stars to. I really enjoyed it. The ending had me very confused but pleasantly surprised. I really am interested to pick up the second book in the series, which is luckily enough available on Kindle Unlimited. The whole series is. So I definitely do want to pick it up at some point, hopefully soon, so I don't forget everything that happens. I'm really interested to see where the story is actually going to go, because there are things that were like, I just don't know where the second book is going to go, basically. So I'm interested to pick it up, and hopefully soon. In the minute, I'm kind of in like a bit of a reading slump, but not officially going to say I'm in a reading slump. I just feel a little bit burnt out because the third book that I did actually manage to finish was King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. Oh my god, Louis, you scared the absolute crap out of me. Vampire fantasy where we have a main character, Isadola. She has been sort of stuck with an arranged marriage to the vampire king who is sort of conquering the empire, and she has to marry him, and everyone's like, you need to try and kill him, and he says, if you try to kill me, I will turn you into a vampire. And she's like, well, shit, I don't have any options. And obviously she's also, you know, falling in love with him at the same time and realizing truths about the vampires and things like that. I had a really good time. The smut happened like straight out of left field. I was not expecting it like at all. I mean, no, I was expecting it. I just wasn't expecting it as quickly as it happened. It happened literally within the first 10 pages. This girl was complaining about aching and wanting and all that type of jazz. You know, you're not allowed to jump on the bookshelves. Hey, don't show your butt to the camera. Like, I was expecting it, but I just wasn't expecting it to be like, bam, right there in my face. If you are wanting a bad ass, like, no fucks given, female main character, pick this book up, because Isadola, she did not care. If someone disrespected her, she killed them. Like, straight away. And I was like, oh, holy fuck. So, and the plot twist at the end, it was interesting. I was definitely intrigued, although I feel like it wasn't really resolved properly, but I'm still interested in how it's going to like progress in the second book, which I want to get so bad, but it's not on Kindle Unlimited. Yes, actually I don't even know if it's out yet. Anyway, I had a really good time. I guess 1 of 4 out of 5 stars. The only reason why it's not getting a 5 is because the smut. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. She was like so aroused just from him like looking at her, and I'm like, I was going to be picking up A Court of Vampire Queen, but the beginning of it was just like King of Battle and Blood, where like the smut was like straight in your face like right away. So I don't really want to deal with that right now. I don't really want to have the smut. I don't want to have vampires at the moment, which is not really normal for me. I don't mind vampires. So I've decided that I'm just going, I scoured my shelves for a good like 10-15 minutes trying to figure out what I wanted to read, and I just want to pick up something quick and easy. So I decided to pick up Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I read about 80 pages of this last night. It is interesting. It's definitely going to be creepy. Something pages, 310 pages, so I can definitely smash this one out today. I am also obviously doing my reread of A Court of Silver Flames, so I think I'm about 80 pages into that as well. I did not realize how much pain is in those first, like it's going to be at least the first 200 pages. There's so much pain and it hurts so bad. As a Kindle read, I've got my reread going for Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton, fantasy romance. This is going to be my first reread of it, so I continue with the series and get the 5th book that is coming out called... No, I haven't read the 5th book, which is Beautiful Nightmares. No, the 4th book. I want to read it so I can catch up, so that when the next book that gets released soon, I can read it. So yes, doing a reread of this. It's fantasy romance. So because this week or the past week anyway, I didn't really do much vlogging or updating you, I'm going to turn this into a 2-week reading vlog so that we actually have some content, because so far the vlog's only 9 minutes long. So yeah. So, Gallant by V.E. Schwab. This is, I think it's meant to be a YA, but I've had a lot of people say that it's middle grade, like it feels middle grade. But anyway, we've got our main character, Olivia Pryor. She has been living in an orphanage after her mother and father passed away. She gets a letter from her uncle inviting her to stay at the mansion estate Gallant. So she leaves, and when she arrives there, they're like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And she's like, "Look at this letter," and they're like, "That's not possible because he died like a year ago." So she's like, "Well, I don't really have anywhere else to go." So they keep her there, and I guess at the moment that I'm up to, she's just sort of exploring the house and finding out some things about her mom. It's all very scary and spooky, which I'm enjoying. Not the best for like the hot summer that I'm in right now, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless. Fortuna Sworn, if you don't know, fantasy romance where we've got our main character Fortuna Sworn. She is a mythical being called a nightmare. Nightmares have the ability to make you see and feel your worst nightmare, your worst fears and stuff like that. Prior to the beginning of this book, Fortuna's younger brother Damon has been missing for 2 years. She has been desperate to try and find information about him, and so far hasn't had any leads until one day she is approached by a fairy called Colith, who says, "I have information about your brother and I can take him to him, but you have to marry me." So yeah, that's basically the plot for this book anyway. It changes quite dramatically. So I just rearranged the library. It is very hot. I'm going to go and turn on the aircon, I think, and just sit and chill for a bit. That's my update for now. I'm feeling better. It was like a mix of, I gave myself heat stroke, I then had a mental breakdown, and I then got sick. So I've just been recuperating mentally, physically, spiritually, and yeah, mental health is playing up big time, which is not fun. I'm going to go and relax and read, put on a gothic sort of ambience, maybe clean up my bookshelves a bit, and do some reading.
Hi, Lily.
So it's been a few days since I've updated you, and I do apologize for that, but unfortunately the mental health wasn't helping, and it wasn't healthing. Mental health took a bit of a break for a while, and Louis. But I did manage to finish quite a few books, which I'm gonna say that's great. So I will be ending the vlog here. So today is Friday, so this has been like a 2-week reading vlog, and I've managed to finish quite a few books, which is just insane. I am planning on doing a reading vlog for the weekend because my library has my favorite childhood series called The Sisters Grimm Fairy Tale Detectives by Michael Buckley. I was obsessed with the series. I tried to read all of them, and the library never had it where I used to live, and I've just found them all on Libby. So I'm going to be reading all of those this weekend, and I'm super excited for it. But anyway, I thought I would wrap up this vlog and give you guys a wrap up of all of the books that I had managed to complete, and yeah, let's just talk about it. You got coffee? Then I did actually manage to finish my reread of Fortuna Sworn. So I read the first book in the series to prepare for my reread of the rest of the series. So Fortuna Sworn is a fantasy romance where we've got our main character, Fortuna Sworn. She is a nightmare, which is a mythical creature that can inflict your own worst fears onto you and make you see your own worst fears. At the beginning of the book, you discover that her brother has been missing for over 2 years and she is desperate to try and find him. She's had no lead so far until one day a fae comes up to her and says, I know where your brother is, I can take you to him, but you have to marry me. And she's like, well, shit. Okay, fine. So she goes and discovers this whole world of the Unseelie Court, and it's just, yes, there is trigger warnings in this book, so definitely do have a look at those. The fae in this are not like the fae in ACOTAR. The fae in this are bad. They are dangerous. They are horrible. They will kill you for sport. So, but they're also sexy, if that says anything. So yeah, that is the book that I just finished. I think it was yesterday I just finished that book. So I'm feeling good. You know, I'm wanting to keep up this momentum, so I will be, over the next like couple of weeks of what we've got left of January, I am still doing my reread. Excuse you. I'm still doing my reread of A Court of Silver Flames. I haven't really done much else in that. I think I'm still on page like 80. So yes, but those are all the books that I've read for this reading vlog. I'm going to continue doing a weekly reading vlog, but I'm going to do a specific weekend reading vlog this week, so I'm going to end the vlog here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I do apologize for it being just a little bit convoluted. Like I said, mental health isn't helping. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up if you did. If you do want to, there is links to my TikTok and Instagram down below in the bottom, so you can have a read and check those ones out, so you can stay up to date with what I'm doing. That is all I have for you today. Please subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in another video.